Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another stream. Got a fun one to go through today. I final tabled the 55 Bounty High Roller on Stars last night, so we'll review the final table, which is exciting. And yeah, see what happens. So I'll give you my thoughts on this final table to begin with. So started off okay, and yeah, we come in. I think we're 6 of 9, so a reasonable shot. It's not like we're on fumes. So we got a reasonable shot, and yeah, I think we have some good spots, and then yeah, I feel like yeah, and this will be interesting to see during the review, but it felt like I just got absolutely no spots, like really card dead, and like this is going to happen sometimes, just absolutely nothing you can do. And so yeah, the key thing I think, like, is a good lesson hopefully, is that reviewing stuff is really important, and not sort of like worrying about like not getting any hands, not getting any opportunities. So it's not just a case of like getting hands, like good hands, but getting the spots as well, right? So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Maybe I completely sort of misevaluate the final table. Maybe I'm going to make some massive errors here, and I miss some jams. I had a really quick look through, and I found there's a pocket fives hand that I think we've got to run and see. I folded, and we'll come on to that in a bit. That's the only one that I can remember though that I might have made a mistake in not 3-bet jamming. So yeah, we'll go into it and see what happens. So yeah, these are all folds. Okay, so first potential spot here with King Jack off. I think it's just going to be a little bit too weak, actually. I think King Queen off would be fine. It's just that we open too many hands here and get 3-bet. We can't call. We have to. It's just it's not a great spot for us. There's Blaze 18 who's shorter than us. There's Joker who's shorter than us, and there's Thrumbo as well. So we have to just be a little bit aware of that. Monkey May says, "Hey Gareth," and Chris Day is there as well. Says, "Hey, how's it going, guys?" Monkey May says, "Looking forward to the final table review. One question: are you planning on any tournament live streams in the future?" Good question. You might have noticed that I haven't been streaming on a Sunday for a while. I've gone back to playing the peak schedule, so probably not going to be doing any play and explains for a while. Maybe like occasionally if I don't know, day 2 or day 3 of a live series, sorry, an online series that plays a day 2 or day 3, maybe I'll do some maybe I'll fire up the stream then. But yeah, I think for the foreseeable future, there won't be any play and explain streams. It's going to be more focused on study. If you want your fix, then YouTube is the place to go. We've got several videos coming out on YouTube every single week. So yeah, definitely check that out. So yeah, I fold here, and I think it's fine. Okay, so this could potentially be the first spot we want to look at. I think in the last hand, this guy had jammed. Yeah, okay. So he opens, and yeah, we've got a decision between calling and jamming. Now, I haven't run any of these hands in simple pre-flop hold'em, which I definitely recommend, by the way, guys. What we're going to be using today is a hold'em resources calculator to look at. Well, hopefully we'll just get to look at like simple push fold spots, because that's what I think HRC is best used for. I'm going to run the spot here, just to look at it though. In HRC, but the problem is that it can't tell the difference between like telling you if maybe a flat is more profitable than a jam, because it doesn't understand post-flop equity realization. So it's unfortunate that it doesn't do that. Even though you can set it up to say allow flat calls, it's not going to give you the right answer. So it's disappointing that it doesn't do that. But you can do it in simple pre-flop hold'em. So I think that this. I'm not sure if I marked it in game. I didn't. So I'm going to review this one. And I think what we might do is just go through a lot of hands and say, okay, I'm going to run this in simple pre-flop hold'em, and maybe for next Wednesday, next Wednesday study stream, we can have a look at some of these hands in simple pre-flop hold'em to see if it's any different from what HRC is telling us. And it will be, because we can just set it up in HRC now to tell us whether or not jamming here is profitable. That's the key thing that we want to try to work out. Okay, so let me just pull in the hand history. So Joker here had a $640 bounty, and we had the lowest bounty, I think, on the final table. So clearly didn't do a very good job of accumulating bounties on the way to the final table. But yeah, you can see, so he had a $640 bounty. So I think that's going to factor in here. So I'm going to copy this. I actually flatted in game, but not convinced that's the right thing to do. So you can just paste it in here. I've already put the payout, so you can see like 9.7 for first and 637 for ninth. And what we're going to do is do open 2 big blinds, take off flat calls because it's nonsense, and scroll on through, and then hit finish. So what is this going to do? So it's going to give you a range of hands. Let me just make sure you guys can see this properly. It's going to give like a frequency and a range of hands, and you can see it's like very high card heavy, and that's because it believes that there's no flatting going on, right? It doesn't need playability. It just needs you to. His opening range just needs to block my jamming range. That's where the solver falls down, right? Because it's not understanding that I could flat and then we play post flop. So yeah, I mean, let's just have a look at this solution anyway. You can see that against this relatively tight opening range, we definitely have a pretty profitable jam here, $133 with ace 9 off. And just want to stress again, maybe you've just joined this stream, guys, that this isn't the best way to look at this spot, because it's not going to show us that maybe flatting ace 9 off is more profitable than jamming. So yeah, I think this is an interesting one. I really want to run it in simple preflop hold'em because I'm kind of just cautious to show you the results here because they might be completely different. When we jam, he's supposed to raise call with these hands. I mean, some of these hands he might already just jam. He might jam some like suited broadways and suited aces, maybe some pairs. He doesn't want to raise call. So again, like when I run it in simple preflop hold'em, I'm going to be looking at giving him the option to jam and an option to min raise as well. I mean, we could add some limps too, but I think, I didn't see him limp any hands in his final table, so I think just min raise and jam would be good. And then what's going to happen is it's probably going to split its range into hands it wants to raise call, raise fold, and then other hands it just wants to jam. So yeah, I think it'd be pretty good to look at. But yeah, if his range looks like this, which it won't, and let's just pull this in, then jamming ace 9 off seems pretty good. Let's see if we can just tighten this up a bit. Give him a more realistic 29.5% of hands. So some hands with playability. Now again, like I do think that he might jam some hands. But if he's just playing a raise fold, raise call strategy, then maybe that's okay, roughly 30%. And you can say ace 9 off, even better now, for us to go ahead and jam. So I would guess, I'm going to hazard a guess here, that this is potentially a mistake to flat. But again, like we have no way right now until I run it in simple preflop hold'em to say whether that's the case. So yeah, I think that on reflection so far, I think that we probably should just go for the jam here. He bets fairly big. We have a gut shot but no heart, and I just decide to fold. I don't think that's a mistake. Face a raise. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that flatting might be better? I probably not. See, the thing is with those offsuit hands, they're just not very good at realizing equity. So like you're better off flatting like a king queen suited potentially. That's actually something I also wanted to talk about. Now it might be that in bounties like things are different because you don't mind getting in and winning $600. Like the pay jump is the winning his bounty is bigger than the pay jump, right? But I often hear that as like the reason why you should gamble more on final tables. But I don't necessarily think that's the case because your equity in the tournament is still important. Like you're getting to heads up and winning the heads up is just massive. So I think we don't always just want to be thinking about that. But yeah, I would say that like HRC is not really giving us the full picture, but ace 9 off is a hand where we it's just going to probably do better as a jam, but we'll run it and look at in simple preflop hold'em. So yeah, maybe that was one mistake so far that we've seen. Okay, go for the steal here. Let's see, look at your comments. Jatrag, ace 10, much easier decision. Mr. Mar, you cover him, you have to shove more than normally. Yeah, for sure. I think it just comes down to as well, like, do we think that he's even opening 30%? Like, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the equilibrium looks like once we can give him the option to raise and to jam, which, again, I'm going to end up sounding like a broken record here, but you can do that in HRC, but it doesn't give you the right answer because it doesn't understand like when you call and have certain hands that do better post-flop than others. Like King Queen suited has better equity realization than Ace 6 off, for example. Okay, we go for the steal here. I think that's good. Yeah, I'm not sure if I mean, I guess we do call if small blind jams. I would say that I've not done enough work on PKO final tables to know for sure. And yeah, I think that's something that I'm definitely going to be working on. Okay, we decided to go for a call here. And he just rips it in. Okay, so it was this point that I realised that the button was probably a fun player. I ended up marking him as a fun player, Godo as a fun player, and I think maybe MP1 Mike as a fun player. Yeah, that's kind of it. But yeah, I don't think that jamming here is ever going to be the right thing to do. Oh, we appear to have lost 2 players already. Okay, so now we have 20 big blinds, and we fold ace-8 off. So yeah, this could potentially be an open. Like for chips, I think it's absolutely an open, but I think that the small blind can play pretty aggressively. And again, we're just going to have a lot of hands that we raise fold here. And yeah, I think folding's fine. I feel like maybe it's ace-9, ace-10 off as an open here. That could be way too tight. But again, let's mark it. We'll run it in simple preflop hold'em. Sadly, we can't run it in HRC. Shout out to DDrum77 for the follow. And actually, I did miss a sub right at the start. Jack Rag, thanks for the sub. Appreciate that a lot. Ed on YouTube saying, evening guys, hope all good. All is good. We are trying to find where we made some mistakes so that we can learn from yesterday's final table. Alwyn Gerald saying hello, support from India. Excellent stuff. Hello in India from the UK. Okay. This hand. Oh. Okay. So right at the start, I said I wasn't really getting any hands. We had the Queen Jack off. We had the Ace 9 off. That probably it's going to end up being a jam. So we've maybe misplayed that one. The Jack 10 is kind of is what it is. Yeah, we did get some hands then. Clearly, we did get some hands. But watch what happens. Okay, we raise, and our friend, who we've already marked as a fun player now, goes to 5 big blinds. And I don't know, maybe I'm massively overthinking this, but it just looks so strong in my eyes. Like, we've raised from under the gun. We're 7 of 7. We don't have a very big bounty, so no one's really going to be trying to like win that. It was like $200 or something. Yeah. It's this looks so strong. So I wouldn't be surprised if the actual way to approach this is just to fold. And I was just like, I can't fold 10s. But then, like, if we think he's super strong, and we call, and the flop's like 8 high, and he bets or he jams or whatever, are we like, what are we doing? Like, it's such a rubbish spot. I would feel better if he jammed here, honestly. So yeah, let me know in the chat what you would do here. Am I just being a nit and looking at this all wrong, or yeah, what do you think? Okay, so we've got shove. That's what you want to do. Wow, so you don't think this looks strong at all? You think this looks weak? You think that you're going to get it in against a range of hands you're doing well against? Mr. Mar says call, his sizing is small. Yeah, so we've got a reasonable price. I think we're going to be think, yeah, we're going to be put into some tough spots post flop. Like, it just feels like, what's the best way to exploit me? Just make it 5 big blinds pre. Just do this occasionally when I raise from under the gun, because I'm going to end up way over folding, right? But I think you can go you can go back and forth with this thought process. So you've got lots of votes for flat. You've got some jams in there. Really think it depends on his 3-bet percentage. Fun players vary a lot in this stat. Okay, let's see if we can have a look at his HUD stat. It's good point. Tough spot, but it's worth seeing a flop versus a face-up hand. Probably not this short. Fold, 90 big blinds left. I don't want a coin flip. Yeah, it's a tough one. Okay, so 14 hands, and he's 3-bet 1 hand so far. So, yeah, definitely wouldn't be reading too much into this, or anything into this. So we've only played 24 hands with this player, and they were all at this final table. Yeah, so, I mean, I just feel like a nit, but maybe fold is the way to go. But I called, and then he just bets, and we end up folding the flop, and it's just like, ugh. I mean, what were we really hoping for? And we're going to get it into some spots where we flop an overpair, and then we get it in, and against his overpair heavy range. I almost feel like ace king is just going to jam as well pre, right? So we'll just rip in 28 big blinds, maybe not. But if his range is literally like 10s plus ace king, then I don't think we love running this. Jatrag on Twitch says, fun player would incline me to shove. Okay. So it's interesting, isn't it? Like how you think it's the other way around. I see this as just really, really strong, but there's every chance I'm massively overthinking this. Typical fun players do this min 3 bets with small okay pairs too. So close, I would jam versus him after marking him as a fun player. Yeah, it's not really a min 3 bet though. A min 3 bet would be to 3 bigs, obviously. So this is a little bit bigger than that. But yeah, well, we move on to the next one. So maybe a mistake. Okay, right. So this is an interesting spot, I think. So I've done some, a decent amount of work, probably not enough, but a decent amount of work on big blind defense and how it changes, when on a final table. Problem here is that with a shorter stack, by a long way now, and I ended up folding here, and I actually don't know if it's right. Right? I have, this guy should be opening a ton of hands, and it probably the way to go here is to jam, because he's literally opening, I don't know, 60% of hands. At least he should be, right? When he's the biggest stack on the table, when it folds to him, he should be opening a ton. So I actually think that jam is probably better than call, and I'm really not sure about the fold. But yeah, this wasn't a good. This wasn't a good one. I think I've seen some sims where like ace 6 off is just the worst hand and you just fold it. But maybe ace 2 through ace 5 we flat, and then ace 7 maybe we jam or something like that. We had a suited ace, so I would never fold here. But again, like I said earlier, I'm definitely not a Pico expert, and I've not done enough work Pico final tables and how much more aggressive you need to be in these spots. But he should be opening a really wide range. Actually, we can just run this spot, because he's not going to be chasing our bounty. If we had a huge bounty, things would be different. But he's not going to be chasing it too much. So maybe this is just a really good spot to jam. I'll just have a look at what his opening range looks like. Yeah. So, I mean, again, this is not what his opening range looks like, because, he's not opening Jack 3 off. But, if we look at the frequency, 56%, and then we go for the jam, he does fold some hands, and we do get it in against hands that are worse, right? So we had, not much, but there are some hands in here that we get it in against. But yeah, you can see ace 3 off looks to me to be pretty profitable. Yeah. So again, we don't know if flatting might be better, but if somebody is opening that wide, I think that this was a pretty reasonable spot to go for a jam. So we maybe missed a couple of spots already. Just being a bit too nitty in the big blind, I think. Let's have a look here. Defend big blind maybe. Yeah. So yeah. This is another one to run in simple pre-flop hold'em to have a look. But on reflection now, looking at this, he should be opening a pretty wide range. Maybe we get to jam this hand, and we just got to run it, right? We have 15 big blinds. We're probably going to be out next. We don't want to be passing too much on spots like this. So, I think this is. We've seen the ace-9 off now and the ace-3 off. I feel like they're pretty similar spots, especially like the ace-9 off. Better because it was versus the button, but maybe worse because he's the short stack and or he was a shorter stack, and he's going to be opening tight range like 17, 18 big blinds I think he had. Whereas this guy should be opening a massive amount of hands. Like I think this is a bigger mistake than the ace-9 off, honestly. Okay, so I missed some follows. D-Drum, Suited 10-8, Ali Milan, and Hedgehog. Thanks for follows, guys. Appreciate that. And it's good to see you. I'm watching through the chat as well. Pro Gambler, thanks for the follow. Vortor says less likely to hunt your bounty if it's that small too. Yeah, so exactly. Yeah, so I think we've got like even more fold equity than we maybe perceive to have, because he's like, I'm not bothered about winning. Whatever it is, $100. Our bounty was at this stage $253, so he'd only win half of that, right? But yeah, interesting. So maybe we've seen a couple of mistakes. So if you were here right at the start of the show, I said there was one hand I was like, yeah, this is probably a jam. But like, I haven't seen this guy play a hand, right? This is probably, man, I'm just a nit, aren't I? Like, I've just made some bad mistakes in this tournament. I feel like we should probably just be jamming this hand as well. So let's have a look. But yeah, so my reading game was that this guy really hadn't been playing many hands, and like it's not like he becomes the sort of pseudo chip leader when Demister folds, because there's the button to contend with. Now, if the button was on like 28 bigs and Godot had the big stack relative to everybody else, had the chip lead, then you can see like, okay, he's probably going to be opening a pretty wide range here. But I think again this is a bad miss. But we'll run in again in simple pre-flop and have a look. He was tight because Demister was so loose. But just in terms of like when Demister folded, like Demister wasn't like opening all the time. Again, like his range isn't going to look like this, but it might. It might look something like, like this. So what we want to find out is it a profitable jam with pocket fives? 0.17, so roughly just under 10% of aces. Looks to be good to me. He does have a folding range. Like, it's not like he just raise calls everything, and it's because our bounty is so small. So I think we can safely say, if we're going to take HRC as the gospel, is that we've missed 3 potential jamming spots. Okay, so we've got some comments here. In my opinion, the 5-5 is a fold, but again, if you're total card dead, easy jam then. I'm not sure that just because we're card dead that we want to suddenly take a jam. Like, if you think it's a fold, because it's the EV of folding is actually on a final table is actually more than 0, because there's a chance that then he plays a hand with a big blind and the big blind busts, and then our equity changes, or he loses a big pot and our equity in this tournament changes. So folding on a final table is actually worth more than 0, whereas for chips it would just be worth 0. Shout out to Jay Radwin and V Dice for the follow. So I just felt like we didn't have much fold equity. I'm not sure that his range is like maybe even as wide as 27.6. Let's make it a little bit tighter. I mean, we can't really go too much tighter than this. I just can't see that he would look down at any of these hands and fold them. Let's go with this and see if we can jam. Now, I'm not trying to make excuses as to, you can see 5 is still a reasonable jam. It's like worth about 5% of the value of aces now, so it's getting to be, more marginal. But yeah, like I said, like I'm not trying to find reasons for defending it. Like if it's bad, it's bad. Like let's learn from it and move on. But yeah, so three potential spots. Let's just go back. Okay, we have to find spots, and this is a good spot as it's a lot open, 40 big blind stack, mostly trying to bully and steal. Yeah, but my reading game was that this guy wasn't opening. Right, I hadn't seen him open many hands at all. Right, so that's why I folded. But again, could be a mistake. So surely, guys, we're not going to fold this hand. We're not that much of a nit where we end up folding this hand, right? No, of course we're not. So we did get some spots. So yeah, we got this spot. Let's have a look. Chase on Chase Twitch says, "Is the future dollar EV of having a stat that can collect a bounty worth much? Impossible to quantify, of course. Missed the start, so might not even be a P. Yeah, is a bounty tournament, and I think you're absolutely right. Actually, yeah, it's something that I hadn't even considered. But you know, winning bounties, it's like it's a difficult balancing act because you want to think about your equity in the tournament, whilst at the same time, you know, give yourself a chance to win bounties. Like you don't just want to play ICM, you got to play with the idea of bounties as well. Certainly, like on a final table, ICM is still an important factor. So yeah, and then the idea of future game is yeah, it's something I need to think about this some more. So you say that a solver won't show it. No, I don't think. Well, I mean, it'll certainly show like it'll show the difference in equities, right? So it takes all the lines and works out which one has the highest EV. And then like, you know, if you fold, if you jam, if you call, if 3-bet, whatever, and it'll say like what your equity would be like, whether you win in all of those cases or lose or whatever. So yeah, I think it's a really good point. Okay, so 10-8. But it won't show future EV of collecting KOs. No, that's cool. Yeah. Volta says, bounty much less relevant on the final table though. Payouts so top heavy. Yep. I mean, like a lot of MTTs, payouts in the top 3, but also like 1 and 2 is the same. But then, you know, if you win it, you win their bounty and you win your own bounty, which is just massive. So, you know, it was like 9 or 10k up top plus bounties. So probably 18 to 20k for first. Let's have a look here. Bounties get less valuable as you get closer to the final table, as in further through the tournament. Doubling also doesn't result in you covering a lot more people at the table, so advocate for nilling it up. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, so we would only cover like depending on who we beat, right? If we won against these guys, maybe we cover them, but we only really cover this guy, maybe this guy, if we'd taken the jam. But yeah, good points, guys. So yeah, we fold, and I feel like this is where, like, now we're down to 13.5 big blinds. Queen 7 off. This is, yeah, I mean, the ace 3 off, maybe we can jam, but this hand, I don't want to defend, I don't want to jam. I think it's perfectly fine fold. 10 deuce off. I think we just have to fold. Maybe could limp, but yeah, I don't like it. Okay, yeah, so this could be the first spot to look at, where HRC will probably come into its own, because it's a simple spot where we can just run it and see, can we jam in this situation? So 11 big blinds. What do you reckon, guys? In the chat, before I show you the result, I've got the result on the other screen here. What do you reckon? Can we jam this hand? Question, is defending close there with Queen 7 off? I don't think so. For chips, for sure, I would defend, but for ICM and, you know, here, like, I just don't think it's a defend. Okay, so we've got votes for jam in the chat. So yeah, just let me know, guys, whether you think you can jam this hand. Okay, cool. So well done for all your comments, guys. We got a few votes for fold and a few votes for jam. So let's have a look. So ace 9 off is the bottom of the range, marginal, and then it gets to ace 10 off, and we can feel a lot more confident in shoving here. So yeah, I mean, I've run this as a basic hand, so like there's a chance that like everybody calls, which we haven't factored in. So and also like we can jam and someone can call and then fold versus a rejam. So yeah, so just bear that in mind. That's the way that we've set the sim up. But yeah, ace 8 off looks like it's losing $15 here, and yeah, looks like all these other hands are going to be profitable. If we went for like the min raise with the top of this range, then hands at the bottom anyway, like ace 9, king jack, all of these hands could work better as a raise fold, and some of the hands also would like drop out because we have fold equity at the moment because we can potentially have aces in there. As soon as we take those hands out, we have less fold equity, and the hands at the bottom that gain most of their EV from fold equity is just become less profitable, probably minus EV. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, so comments is that ace is so powerful in spot, likely to be called by so many king and queen highs. Let's have a quick look. So this is set up for bounties, right? It is definitely set up for bounties. Look how tight this calling range is. It's really not wide at all. Like, we just don't have a very big bounty, and yeah, we're shoving tight in the first place, but like this calling range is not wide, right? So I wouldn't say that they're likely to be calling many king and queen highs at all. Like, there's no queen highs in anybody's range. So I folded, so I don't think that's a mistake. Ace 7 suited, face a raise, and I just fold. Ace 8 suited. So a few more positions over now. So yeah, we only have 11 bigs. Do we think this might be a jam, guys? Let me know in the chat. I feel like suited aces are going to be slightly better than offsuit for sure. Okay, so we've got some votes for fold. We've got votes for jam. These spots, guys, they're it's never clear, right? Okay, so you've got fold, probably go ace 9 suited plus, shove, still ICM, fold, 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 fold. Think it's close, it's a fold. Jam. Okay. Cool. Let's have a look. So, ace 8 suited is worth $2.53. Wow. Now, bearing in mind we are just about to go through the blinds, there could be an argument for taking this spot because we're just about to lose whatever, 1.5 big blinds plus the antes of going through the blinds as well, those hands. So, yeah, this is kind of close. A comment here from Jatrag. You had a game of cusp fold jams. Yeah, just like, yeah, no clear-cut decisions, although some of them are debatable. Yeah, it's amazing when you reflect on it the next day, like, outside the heat of the bat, and you're like, just maybe like this is probably a jam. This is probably a jam. But yeah, ace 8 suited, super marginal. I don't think we need to take this. But again, like, look at the calling ranges behind. The problem is, I guess, with the calling ranges here, the way that this is set up, it's just a simple basic hand, is that when I jam, all of these players have to jam. Like this guy, for example, the way that it's set up is that they only rejam or fold, right? Whereas he could actually flat and potentially fold, maybe if Demister jams or something, which, could happen in practice. So he could run it again. I'm not sure the value of that. So maybe we have a little bit more fold equity because of that. Because, this guy is not going to jam too wide. Like, apparently he should only be jamming 9s plus ace queen, right, when we jam. So it seems pretty tight to me. And yeah, I'm going to guess the big blind is the guy with the widest range. But even he's at, like, his range is pretty tight here. But I guess it's because we're only shoving 12.8% of hands. So super marginal. I think it's fine. Like, I'm not unhappy with this one. The 5s, the ace 9 off, the ace 3 off, I think are better. Oh my word. Come on, man. I don't know why I decided to do this stream today. I feel like I'm just going to embarrass myself by making just loads of nitty folds. Superstar Flexer, seems to me that the calling ranges are very tight. Yeah. So hopefully it made sense when I explained that, right? That it's because the basic hands within HRC would have them just rejamming the whole stack, and so he would be risking 30 big blinds in that last hand. he'd be risking 30 big blinds or 28 big blinds through this player, and this player, and this player, and essentially through this player as well. So that's why I think that it's on the tighter side. But yeah, I do think that it's it is, yeah. I would say that most people are playing a lot wider than some of these. I actually made a video on this. How I think it's. I think a lot of people go too wide when bounties are not that significant, and the ICM is more significant. So like this guy can't go super crazy here. But yeah. Let's have a look. See if there's any more comments. Yeah. Tim's 70. I missed the start. Have you covered what each of the bounties are? I haven't, but I can just show you here if you want. So we have the smallest bounty, $253. Baku's 2.2k. Godo's 963. Demister's 2k as well. Architide was 1k. So I guess he can't go too wide because he's potentially one of the two big stacks can call him, something like that. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. So Queen 7 suited. I think this has got to be a call. Like again, I'll run it in simple pre-flop, but I think like Queen 7 off we had before. Like I think it's a pretty easy fold. But Queen 7 suited, gonna have do a better job of equity realization. We can flop top pair and go with it. We can flop a flush draw and go with it. We just there are better things going to happen with a suited hand. Queen 8 suited, I would be super happy to defend here. Something just didn't feel right. But yeah, it's pretty it's not great. So yeah, just I'm saying it's not great to be like, oh, it's not, doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel player. # feel player. Yeah, I feel like we missed a defend here. We folded. Okay, Ace 5 suited. This guy raises again. He's been pretty quiet and he's opening from under the gun. I don't think we have a jam here. King 5 suited. What do you guys reckon? We're getting a bit desperate. Kind of. 9 bigs. Okay, so everyone's going for fold here. Fold King 5, fold King 5, fold King 5. Cool. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. King 9 suited. So now I would take every single spot here. I'd just shove this range. I think maybe like 3s and Ace 3 suited you could drop out, but maybe the Jack 9 suited, the King Jack off. But yeah, I think I would jam all of these hands. Cool. Everybody happy with the folds? Excellent stuff. Okay, so now we face a 2.5x and a call. It was a really bad hand. We just fold. Okay, surely it's going to fold to us so we can jam. This guy pots it. Okay, well, I think it's going to be a stronger range than normal, and also, but stronger range than normal, but maybe not right at the top. So it might be like jacks, 10s, 9s, ace king, something like that. But yeah, that's it's a big old raise for this stage of the tournament. Well, for any stage of the tournament, really. Another raise. So now you can see this is why I felt like at the end of this tournament I was like, I just didn't get any spots. But how good is review, right, for this idea that we probably missed 3 spots. We missed at least 1 defend, and yeah, I think there are some spots that we could have played differently. Okay, right. Can we jam here? This has got to be close, right, guys? This has got to be close. Is it 9-8 suited or is it 10-9 suited? What do we reckon is bottom of the range here? Okay, so we've got jam. Lots of you going for a jam here. Jam. Okay, nobody's saying that it's not. No one's saying it's a fold. Let's have a look. 9-8 suited would be losing us $8.70, and 10-9 suited is the bottom of the range. So I feel pretty happy about that. I'd rather have 8-9 suited than Jack 10 off here. I think in a bounty tournament, though, the high cards are better than suited hands, right? So generally when you jam suited hands, it's because you have fold equity, and then you actually have reasonable equity against unpaired hands, right? So 9-8 suited against ace king off, like, it's doing okay-ish. But you have to have so much fold equity. When you don't have the fold equity, and the guy's going to snap you off with king 5 suited, then I think we want high cards instead. Okay, Mr. Mar, PKOs don't want to shove suited connectors. Okay, cool. Love the comments. Got comments coming in on both Twitch and YouTube, guys, which is excellent to see. If you haven't done so already, hit that follow button on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. Got videos coming out on YouTube a couple of times a week. So we have the replay of this study session, plus what else? Weekly, just a weekly hand. So I've recently been looking at, making sure that you know how to connect the dots when it comes to working out your triple barrel range. And then I went through the solver solution in the next video. So if you haven't seen that yet, go over to youtube.com/MTT Poker School and check it out. Okay, so yeah, not much we can do. 5 big blinds, face a 2.5x and a call with 4 big blinds back. Gotta fold. Yeah, just not a good spot. Face a raise, and this is the last hand of the tournament. I know that because look, there's no other hand left here. We don't fold here. Surely we don't fold here, guys. I mean, given it's the last hand of the tournament, we're never folding. So yeah, I mean, the let's have a look at this. Okay, so you can see 7's like super profitable now. I mean, that's quite incredible actually, that this jam is worth $251. Like some of those other ones, I mean, we passed on the spot. The ace-8 suited was worth $2.53 or something, whereas this one is worth monster. Yeah, so we're going to get called by any 2. I mean, we knew that anyway, because we have 3 big blinds. But yeah, we jam. He calls. Oh, we got a chance here, guys, to get back up to 10 big blinds. Checks through, and we lose pocket 9s. And yeah, that's all she wrote. So yeah, I mean, overall, we missed a queen 7 suited defend. Ace 9 off right at the start, I think is probably going to work out better as a jam. Pocket 5s, I think, probably should be a jam. What other hands did we have? We had the ace queen suited, which we pulled the trigger on, obviously. I mean, we're not a complete nit. And we had the pocket 10s when we faced a small 3-bet, and that might be close. Maybe we were just supposed to run it and hopefully win a flip against ace king, but I just don't think he had ace king. I think he has just a very strong range there, and maybe fold is actually better in that spot, as nitty as it sounds. Tim said, did that look like a brutal final table? Did you kick the cat afterwards? I don't have a cat, but if I did have it, I probably wouldn't kick it. Yeah, I mean, I said right at the start of this session that I finished the final table really thinking like, wow, I didn't get any spots, and I didn't, just didn't really have a chance. He was really card dead. It looks like, we were right on the edge with a lot of these hands. The ace-8 suited was pretty close. Then there were, a couple of others that were like, the 9-8 suited is just outside of the range we want to shove. So, yeah, I mean, but like the most important thing for me, right, is when you finish a final table, whatever you're feeling frustrated that you didn't get any cards, or you think you didn't get any cards, the key thing is to make sure that you're reviewing and reflecting on the tournament, because I think there were probably like 4 or 5 spots in there that I could have played differently, and I definitely want to run them in simple preflop hold'em to see if they were mistakes. Like, was the ace 9 off a jam? Was it better than flatting? Pocket 5s, like, is that just a very easy jam? Just get it in and run it. A few others that we potentially missed. So yeah, I just want to stress that like the importance of that you like, whatever your feelings are, just make sure you're focusing on improvement and developing. And because it would have been easy for me to just go, oh, I didn't get any spots in that tournament. Oh, I got so unlucky. Like, why didn't I get, any big hands? Why, when I faced that small 3-bet, why didn't I have aces? All of this kind of stuff. And it's just like it's going to happen sometimes, right? And it's okay to feel like upset, frustrated, whatever you want to feel it, if you do, but that doesn't really help for the future. So in the future, make sure you're reflecting, make sure you like identifying areas that you could have played differently, because that's what's going to help you next time, right? Next time we're on a final table, maybe we take some more of these spots. So yeah, I think it's just really, really important. White Ninja in the chat says, good review, can do my 530 150k win next week if you want. I have the simple pre-flop sims run for all of those spots. Well, that sounds like a pretty good offer, one that we probably can't refuse. My original plan was to next week to do the simple pre-flop sims for this final table, but I think that either we do that next week and then we do yours the week after, or we do yours straight away next week. But we'll chat off stream. Fizz23, nice review. I'm totally new here and like the way you approach every spot. Appreciate that. Thanks for being here. If you haven't hit that follow button, just go for it. Hit that follow button. Superstar Fleck, first time viewing any of your content, liked it. Brilliant stuff. If you want more, go over to youtube.com/MTT Poker School and subscribe. I can see some more followers came in that I missed. OMG, Candy Wang, Superstar Fleck, Bird225, Fizz23, or maybe I'm getting that wrong. VDace00, thanks for the follows, guys. Appreciate that a lot. Let's have a look here. Mr. Maui Wowie says, the spot that sticks out to me was the pocket fives. Yeah, I think it's probably a mistake. I hope you guys appreciate me like bearing all here, like, and actually going through like just some mistakes, right? And I'm definitely not perfect. I'm not a bot. I think it's good. Like this is what happens, right? So yeah, my philosophy really is just like, what happened, you reflect on it, what do we learn, what can we do differently next time? And I think if you approach every experience like that, then you're just going to grow. So whether it's poker or life or sport, fitness, relationships, whatever, like, try and just improve a little bit every day. And, the best thing about this final table for me is that there were some spots that I can improve on, right? Because you can like play a final table and you actually played really well. And then you, there's nothing to work on. So yeah, I think it's really, really important. One Ninja Poker says, big difference in ranges on final tables between PKOs and vanillas. Absolutely. So it'd be good to look at the simple pre-flop stuff. Vol24 says, what tools do you recommend to review with? I'm struggling with ICMizer, to be honest. I always use Hold'em Resources Calculator. I have a video on how to use it to analyze PKO spots. So if you want to check that out, go to the YouTube channel. It's how to run PKO spots with HRC or Hold'em Resources Calculator, something like that. It's on. If you just go to the YouTube channel and click on videos, then check that out. Chris Day says, One Ninja Poker, sick and great job, mate, on that final table. Absolutely, was a great run. So, but definitely good too, either in the next week or the week after, to do White Ninja's 150k score review of that final table. I think that'll be really, really fun to do. So yeah, maybe we'll just go straight in and do that next week. I think that would be exciting. Let's have a look here. Bola Poker, nice review, mate. Congratulations, you played pretty well. Well, I appreciate the kind words, and I think there's still plenty to work on, still plenty to learn. But yeah, we're going to wrap things up there, guys. Normally we do an hour, but I don't have any more hands to go through. But just before we sign off, as I said, like, check out the YouTube channel. If you're interested in coaching, so whether that's private coaching, group coaching, or any of my modules, then check out mttpokerschool.com for more info. We also got all the socials on there, so Instagram, Twitter, Facebook page, Facebook group, all of that. So if you're interested in any of that, then check out the website, mttpokerschool.com. Links also on Twitch and on YouTube, so it should be pretty easy to find. Bola Poker says, I loved your video comparing Hold'em Resources and simple pre-flop. That was amazing. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's what I was talking about right at the start of this review how it's important that we run these spots in simple preflop hold'em rather than HRC. HRCs can be good for like simple jam spots for like 8 big blinds and under, but not really for like any time where you might want to raise call, raise fold, jam, do other stuff, including like 3-bet jam and 4-bet jam and stuff like that. So JP4 Global, thanks for the follow. Right, that's it, guys. As I said, check out the YouTube channel. Also go to the website mttpokerschool.com, and until next time, take care. See you soon. Bye bye.